Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. In my hands is a recent release. It's the second book in the Reckless series of graphic novels, Friend of the Devil, by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. And I gotta say, it's pretty awesome. The colors by Jacob Phillips, who's been helping out a lot of their releases lately, and this is just a sweet, sweet, sweet graphic novel. So Brubaker and Phillips have shifted from their monthly releases, and they're doing these graphic novels, which are coming out about every 6 months, quarterly, somewhere around there. And it's pretty sweet. It's really good. If you like noir crime stories, this is just a fantastic line so far. I mean, the first volume was really good. The second one, which is this one in my hands, I think is actually even better. So the Reckless series, it's about Ethan Reckless. It's kind of, that old school detective stories, that crime, gritty, jacked up stories where, you can't trust anyone, and the main protagonist has got all sorts of issues. So we're not going to go back into Ethan's history because that's not really the point of this. You don't really need to know. I mean, the short story is he was an undercover agent, kind of got a little too close of what his subject was, and then eventually kind of got booted from the FBI. So this is the story. It takes place in 1985. Coke is galore all over the place in California, and it's the 80s. It's the 80s, but this isn't neon 80s, which is kind of fun. There's something really entertaining about not doing neon 80s. This is dirty, gritty, I'm going to go dirty again, 1980s. So Ethan is on a case. He meets a young lady who finds her lost sister in a film, and Ethan steps up to go and try to find the sister. From there, it's every kind of stereotypical Hollywood story wrapped into it. The story itself, I don't think is totally new. It feels like things that we've seen before, at least I've seen before, things I've read before. It's really, I'll call trope-ish. It's pretty been there, done that, but it's done really, really well. And I think that's the thing that's great about Brubaker and Phillips is their style and their art and their storytelling is, it plays with a lot of stuff that we know. For those who like those detective stories, those gritty, pulp, 70s, 80s detective stories, they take what works really, really well in those and just does it really, really well. And they kind of distill the stuff that we love about these sort of stories and get rid of the BS. They just get rid of the crap out of it. And, the results are fantastic. It's, as someone who likes this genre and, I feel like I have a decent eye as to what works and what doesn't. Brubaker and Phillips, both of them, they never disappoint. It's a team that I know I'm getting a quality story, that I know I'm going to be entertained, and that I can sit back, with a bowl of popcorn and a soda and go and just enjoy it. I can escape. It reminds me of watching the 70s gritty exploitation films that I kind of grew up with. Those late night films that you weren't supposed to watch type of thing. I enjoyed those. I think they're a lot of fun. I couldn't name one of them, but I just remembered growing up and enjoying them. And this reminds me a lot of those. The fact that it takes place in 85 and doesn't have that stereotypical Miami Vice neon style to everything, I think is actually really interesting. I'd associate that with maybe a year later or so, maybe a year earlier. It might not be the exact time that happened, but that still feels like it should, that's what I would expect when you say 80s. We say 80s, that's the style we're going. But this isn't. This is the dirty California of the 80s. Before the limelight, before the everything getting cleaned up, and I wish I could go into more details, but it really it's a journey. It really takes you through a ride through this detective story, and it's awesome. It's really, really cool, and I love it. Without reading this, I could have sat there and said, yeah, this is great, because I know it's Brubaker and Phillips. The art is awesome. I'm gonna leave it straight to the to that, like, the reveal, like the real page turn where everything goes black. Like, here he is, like, we got Ethan Reckless running from someone, car crashes, and out pursuing him is a bunch of Nazis. Like, it's something that we've seen. It's something that is, I think, very, typical in this sort of story, but it's just done so well. It's done really, 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 really well. I can't wait to see what's next. Like, I know there's another one coming in October. The title of that is... I mean, this is a series that I hope goes on and on and on. It's the next one is called Destroy All Monsters. That's kind of a badass story. Like, these guys are taking pulp stories and, like, pulp crime stories and just breathing life into them. The only thing I think might improve this if it was a small, like, dime book size delivery. And even then, I'm not quite sure, because then the art's really small and stuff like that. Like, that'd be maybe the only other thing that could get me in like, the mood. This is the type of story. It reminds me a lot of when DC was doing their pulp line, and this would have fit perfectly in that line. So yeah, I mean, it's beautifully done. Nice hardback book. This is worth every penny. Absolutely worth every freaking penny. Out now, you can go get it. Clearly, highly recommend this. Out now, you can go get it. We got a link beneath this video. You put in your zip code, tell the shops near you. No shops, no problem. We have some affiliate links. There are affiliate links. We get a small percentage by doing that. You help support our site, so thank you. And speaking of support, I just want to thank you for watching. We always appreciate that. Now, if you're into comics, if you're into graphic novels, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep reading those comics and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.